everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Gifty and I. If you're returning, welcome back, and if you're new, welcome to my channel. So today is going to be my top 4 books that I absolutely love, and my students love them as well. So I've read these books in between year 3 and 4, and they absolutely love it. They have written book reviews about how good it is, so I just really want to share with you. I know sometimes it's hard to find a really good class read, so I'm hoping this video will help a teacher out there who watches this. So let's get started. My first favorite book of all time is Vah Jackpot. Oh my goodness, it's such a good book, and it's perfect for year 4 particularly, which is grade 3, I guess, if you're in the States or in Canada. So basically it's about a cat, a Mesopotamian cat who's called Vah Jackpot, and he basically is a cat who has never left his home, and his grandfather shows him the way of martial arts, and he starts having to fight another gang of cats who are just being really mean around town. And it's just a really good book. There's Vah Jackpot, there's 1 and 2 series on it, and I read both series to my kids and they absolutely love it. It's very adventurous, and every chapter is just full of like surprises. Every time I end a chapter, my kids want to hear the next one. So it's such a really good book. And I always say the moral of the whole story is about friendship and family, a bit of betrayal as well, and loss, I would say. So it's a really good way to get your children to understand, what does betrayal mean, what does loss mean, what does it mean to have good friendships, and so forth. So I would definitely recommend that book. You can find it on Amazon. There's also an audio version. So the first one, I actually allowed the audio to do the reading for my kids, and they loved it, and we turned off the lights and they were listening to it, and just the sound of it really made them really be into the book. And the second one, I forgot what it was called, I'll link it below. I actually read that to my students and they absolutely loved it. So definitely, if your kids are into adventure, a bit of just adventure, definitely Vah Jackpot's a really good one, which has really good themes. My second favorite, and probably one that most of you know of around the world, is Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Oh my goodness, I feel like we all watched the movie, but the book is so good as well. So I read the book to my students and they absolutely loved it. And there's so many activities that you can do with the book. For example, Roald Dahl likes to really make up random words. So one activity we did with the book is that they made up their own random words and try to describe what it means to the whole class. We also did one that looked at the characters, because the characters in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the kids that go into the factory, are so diverse and different. Like Charlie, all the characters are just so different, and the kids had to write basically a character description of who they are. And at the end of reading the book, we actually got to watch the movie, the old one, not the new one, and they absolutely loved it. So there's different things that you can do with Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and then at the end of it, watch the movie, which the kids absolutely loved, reading the story and then watching the movie. And then after the end of watching the movie, what we did was compare and contrast how different the movie was from the actual book, and they loved it so much. The third book that my kids liked a lot was also The Miraculous Journey of Edward Tulane. That book is more about love and how to accept love, and they do it in a way that is very child friendly, by a teddy bear going to different homes. First he was with one home, and then he ends up going to different homes, and each of the people that got to hold the teddy bear and have him as their toy animal loved him differently and accepted him differently. So it's really got the kids to really understand that, how we can be loved in different ways, and they absolutely really loved it a lot. And it was nice to see how each child or each adult that had Edward, which is Edward Tulane, which was the teddy bear, how they loved him differently. So we got to really also describe how the characters were with Edward Tulane, compare and contrast how they were with each other. So there's like really cool things that you could do with the book, and stuff. And also I remember before we even began reading the book, there's a picture of Edward too that they can find online, so I just put his picture on the board, and I wanted the kids to describe him by how he looks like, and then try to describe him afterwards by how they think he is in terms of character. So there's different ways that you can get your kids involved with this book as well, but the theme, I would say, is definitely about love and how to allow love to happen, how to accept it. So Edward Tulane is definitely one that my kids actually really enjoyed. It was different, but they enjoyed it. Last but not the least is my Judy B Jones books. Oh my goodness. So personally, this is a very, very touchy one for me because I used to read these books so much as a child, and I got my kids to love it so much as well, my students. And honestly, Judy B Jones has so many series. She's just a really loud girl who knows what she wants, knows what she likes, and she's very, very confident, and my kids love that about her. My kids mostly like books that have lots of dialogue, and Judy B Jones books are all full of dialogue. So there's just so many different Judy B Jones books. So if ever you just feel like I just want to pick up a random read for my kids, just for them to enjoy and laugh if I have 10 minutes before the end of the day, definitely pick up a Judy B Jones book for your students. If they're around year 3, 4, they will laugh their heads off because she's such a funny girl and full of adventure. So definitely recommend Judy B Jones. Not as a curriculum book, but more as an extra read for the class to hear. So these are my top books that I will recommend for year 3, 4 students. My kids love them. I'm sure your kids will too. And thank you so much for watching my video. If you have any questions, don't forget to comment, and please subscribe as well. Thank you, and bye, and happy reading.